We're here on a lovely chemtrail day. That's the results of chemtrails, guys.
Dude, they were doing it all night this morning, even when there was already chemtrails there and already
Dude, they did chemtrail on top
fake
of
clouds.
trail.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It's all nasty.
Continue. So we're here with another spiritual walk and chat. I hope you guys liked the first one. It was a lot of fun to make, so we're just going to make it. If you guys like it, let us know. Put the comments, put the likes. Definitely subscribe to Kittens, Waste, and Tarot. Come on. So my first question, Tara, is how did the Anunnaki channeling go that you just did?
Dude. Okay. So I would say before the channeling, I don't know much about the Anunnaki. Like I know a little bit. I know that there's something about them and the reptilians, and somehow they're like the masters or bosses of the reptilians. Not really sure. Oh yeah, you guys check out all the bunny tracks. We're in bunny land over here. Oh wait, those maybe aren't bunnies. Maybe this is cow. Wait, this is bunny.
This is cow right here.
This is...
I'd say that's a cow.
That's too small to be a cow. So either that was a coyote or a wolf. We did see wolf tracks like before.
Yeah, she found wolf.
So yeah, that might be.
And she heard wolf.
Oh yeah, I heard a little pack of them. And then in the far distance, I heard the coyotes, which were probably like, okay, guys, wolves are in the town.
Yeah, they're like, we gotta go. Let's collect everybody.
Let's just
start
get our little gang together.
Yeah. Anyway, what were you saying about Anunnaki?
So the Anunnaki, so yeah, I didn't know a whole lot about it, but it was very interesting, you know, with the channeling about there being some sort of contract between them and the reptilians, and then us being some sort of splicing project. And the whole thing with...
Well, they can watch the video. They have to explain
okay, well, yeah.
Right?
But anyway, their energy was so like dark and just did not vibe with my higher self really at all. So so my higher self just did basically all the translating, and then my ego translated it for us to hear in plain English.
Right.
So, and me and my higher self have a pretty good like relationship. So
you guys are tight?
Yeah, we're tight. We're like, shh. So, you know, so it was a lot easier to do. It's also a lot less draining when you're channeling and you're just literally using your higher self. Like it takes a lot more, you know, when people think, oh, when you channel something, you have to have somebody else's spirit in your body.
Well, there's levels of
channeling.
Yeah.
You know, that's something I can do, but it takes a lot more energy. And maybe I'll get to a point where it won't drain me like it does, but you know.
Right. So no good things to say about Anunnaki, really?
No, they kind of seem like D-bags or whatever.
It was surprising for me to learn that there's polarity in 11D, because, you know, you kind of lose polarity as you rise in the densities, but I guess you come back to it eventually. It's like a rubber band or a yo-yo.
Yeah, that one was a little weird, because when I was asking about polarity, my higher self said one thing, but they were like showing staticky, like we can be anything almost.
Maybe that's ego talking.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, there's probably, with the entity or group of entities that dark, there's probably a lot of trickery going on.
Yeah.
So who knows?
That's why I was like, I'll just listen to what my higher self's saying. My higher self can translate for me, because I don't really want to interact with them. Yeah.
Well, I thought it was interesting no matter what. I would say don't have any fear over Anunnaki coming to destroy humans. I mean, A, that's not going to happen for a long time if it does. And B, there's, you know, to everything there's an opposite, right? That may be what they would like to do. That's what they think they're going to do. But it doesn't mean that's what's going to happen.
They can talk the talk, but doesn't mean they're going to walk the walk.
Right. They'll say anything when, you know, their ego's confronted, or if they can get an advantage from it, they'll say anything. And that's why it's very important to shield and not do what Tara's doing unless you know how to protect your energy, how to keep other entities out of your space. And no matter how good you are, they're still going to get through sometimes and know what to do when that happens. So it's very dangerous, I would say, in some respects. But one thing was that Michelle wanted to know how we come across this information.
So basically, I mean, of course, there's a lot of stuff that we read online, and, listening to other spiritual channels and stuff. But the bulk of it is just going inwards. I'm just connecting to my higher self and kind of listening to what it has to say. Somebody could say something online. I could read something, but does that make it true? So that's when I go inwards and like, okay, describe to me what's being said here. Is there any truth in this?
Right. You always want to cross-check what you hear in 3D with your higher self.
Because sure, some things will get you riled up because they'll get your ego all riled up.
Right.
Like when we did the Elon Musk channeling before, right. It was like, at first we're like, ooh, Elon Musk, because that's what our egos are all. But it's like the higher self has something different maybe to say.
Exactly. That's why
it's not about the drama.
Right. We want to always go into these channelings expecting nothing. Sure, we have some background knowledge on the subject. Maybe we've even channeled this before and we're just going back in for more knowledge. But we still try to keep an open mind with what can come through. You hear something?
Yeah, it may have just been a clump of snow falling.
Oh.
I thought I heard something. You never know out here. There's a lot of unusual sounds.
But you're watching it. These channeling videos that you see her doing, that's how we get our information. You're seeing it. She does it a certain way. Everyone's going to go inward and get their information in a different way. Some people talk to crystals. Some people do tarot readings. Some people, help me out here. There's so many ways to bring down information.
Yeah, but basically all you're doing with whatever tool it is that you're utilizing, all of that just brings you into the heart space.
Yes.
Nothing but truth can really reside within the heart space. And we're not talking about the physical human heart, but the vibration of our essence. Vibration of love, of healing. It's a pretty high vibration. It seems cliche. People are like, oh, all you need is love, but it transcends romantic love, friendship love. Like it's an actual vibration. And so that's when we say drop into the heart space. We're saying drop into that high vibration, because if you want some messages, you want some truth, and sometimes the truth isn't always pretty, but it's true. You gotta drop into the heart space. That's where shadow work happens.
I would say it all starts and ends with meditation. If you don't know how to do any of what we're talking about, start meditating 5 minutes a day. And just do it every day. And do it till you're good at it. And then 5 minutes won't seem so long. And then 10 minutes won't seem so long. And then an hour won't seem so long. And then you're tapping into your intuition. Right? If you can do it for X amount of time, your ego finally turns off. And you can finally listen to your intuition, your higher self, your soul, whatever you would like to call it. Not big on labels, right? But we got to use words to say things. So we just call it the higher self, the soul, whatever you want.
Yeah, and the ego too. That's obviously something we all have. We're not ascended masters, so we haven't dropped our ego program yet. But when I'm channeling, my ego is there, especially if like my higher self's translating to me and then I'm translating. My ego has to translate because it's the human part of me, so that I can connect with other humans. But in other instances, like let's say if I'm going to have another energy inside of me, my ego has to basically shut down and power down and let the other energy talk, because otherwise my human brain is going to be trying to figure out what's being said, Be
very careful here.
Yeah, and it messes up the messages. So I can't have my ego there.
Okay.
So it's very good to understand what the ego sounds like in your higher self. And like James said, with meditation, that comes from meditation. All of that. And then when you get really good at understanding what your own ego sounds like in your higher self, then you start to understand what other things sound like and feel like. Animals, plants, other dimensional beings, spirits.
Well, that's a fantastic segue. Let's talk about animals, because we had a visitor in our RV, and it's the standard story, age-old tale of cat and mouse. But so we had a mouse, and we had to take drastic measures. It was living in our living space. making its excrements everywhere. So we had to get trappy.
Yes.
And we had to kill maybe one, maybe two. We're not going to put a number on it, okay? But some rats had to leave this earth plane. So I wanted to ask Tara what kind of spiritual workings you did after we killed those 2 mice.
Okay. First of all, you guys, I'm not one to like kill things, but when literally I don't want to get sick from certain animals and you've done all you could, literally even connecting with their consciousness to say, hey, this is my space, leave me alone.
I warned them too. I connected with the mice. I said,
and then when they don't
I
listen,
give them a bunch of warnings.
Then I'm like, okay, well, this is just what's going to happen if you don't leave. So anyway.
So I had a question about it.
Yeah, James had a question. I decided to pull some cards, but also channel just a little bit. And first I connected to just the ego of the rat. And it was like, I have passed away. I was giving and taking, you know, like death is just a thing. You know, things are born, things die. It was a very simplistic thought process. But then James wanted to know like what its higher self was like. And animals, for the most part, and plants reside, I'd say, for the most part, reside in a second dimensional frequency. This higher self was in a one-dimensional frequency. I've like never come across, or maybe I just haven't heard of it being said, like I'm a one-dimensional frequency. And so we dug deeper because we're like, how does a one-dimensional energy reside in a two-dimensional?
I personally thought it always went up. Not always, but maybe always. Like it always went up or down, excuse me. Your higher self would be at a frequency higher than you. And then your experience, if it's in physicality or maybe not, is in a lower density. But this mouse had its consciousness in the first density and it's experiencing a life in the second density.
Yeah, so we're connecting to it, and come to find out, it was like a building block. It was a brand new consciousness being made. And so it was starting at this like one-dimensional frequency. It was obtaining knowledge by going into higher dimensional frequencies to become a more evolved consciousness. So eventually that's going to be a more complete consciousness. You know, so it was interesting to see like the building block of a consciousness. I was like, what?
Right. I would say, yeah, they're starting a new consciousness, and through, you know, through, how do you say this? Like batting upwards, right? By having experiences higher than the consciousness, it's like growing extremely fast.
Yeah. So who knows what that consciousness will evolve to be someday? Maybe it'll be a human, maybe it'll be, you know, a reptilian or whatever else resides out there, whatever other energies exist. It'll be something else someday, but it had to start at one.
At a mouse.
Or who knows, maybe it started at zero.
Yeah,
when, you know.
All right, last question, and briefly, tell us about this Yule energy.
The what?
The Yule energy.
Oh, yeah. So, dude, the energy is freaking interesting right now. Number one, I maybe some of you guys had started experiencing like headaches or fatigue or weird dreams, just feeling kind of odd. Oh, man, it's beautiful right now. I wish we had more sun, though. But it was... I don't know, last night I was hearing like a baby crying. I was hearing all of these things. We both heard music, you know, over our generator, which, you know, generator is freaking loud, and we're in the middle of nowhere. If you couldn't tell, where is there babies crying, and where is there, you know, I heard a lady talking. I woke up in the middle of the night to hear more children, you know, and stuff like that. And then I woke up with a cough that went away after I told my higher self to make it go away, and it went away. So it wasn't like a real cough, not like a sickness. It was like there was some weird energy. I woke up and I tried to shield because there was energies in the room that I didn't like so much. So, which, by the way, shielding, and that's very important. Got to know how to do it, especially when you come across things don't feel right. So yeah, it was weird, and I had all these weird dreams, and it's because of this portal, you know, that there really is a portal at the solstices, you know, whether you're in the, you know, southern or northern hemisphere. And so it's like everything comes together at once, like it all meets, kind of like what people think of on Samhain when the veil is really thin. So that's why people feel weird, because your energy is all over the place. So that's Yule energy.
Okay, we got crazy. We had crazy dreams too. At least Tara did, and then she said I was talking in my sleep in tongues, since that's not normal. So
Yeah.
but I think we got to end this video
Yeah.
around here. We stopped walking, so we can't call this a walk-in chat anymore.
Well, we stopped to chat.
Okay, let's stop and chat. All right, well, if you enjoy it, you guys know what to do. The likes, the comments. Tell us what you want to hear us talk about, obviously.
Yeah.
And be sure to subscribe. What else is there?
So, hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace.